Hi, I'm Toni, and that was very fast. This is your weekly tarot reading, and the oracles are already jumping out. So let's see, what is the message for you today, or for this week, I should say. The Guardian Stone, awakening, progress, initiation. Wow. Okay, so this is saying it is time for you to come. You're having a big awakening. Now, the thing about awakening is sometimes before and while we're going through the process of awakening, we also have to go through the process of breaking down, okay? And so sometimes it's hard to see the progress when we're in the middle of the initiation, okay? And that's the thing. The Great Awakening, the understanding of the connection of you to your higher self and what your divine purpose and your mission in this life is, that's a gorgeous and amazing thing to accomplish. But very often before we get there, we go through kind of a rough period. It feels very often like our life is falling apart. In fact, and in my personal experience, I thought I was losing my mind, and maybe I did, but I found it. And what happened is when I found it, I found myself. And that is what the Great Awakening is about. The awakening, the progress, the initiation, the Guardian Stone. So this is, rolling away the stone to reveal the truth, right? And so what does that look like for you? Let's find out. We are going to dive straight into the tarot today and see what messages do we have for you. So to begin with, how did we get here? Ooh, that is just jumping. Okay, so remember I said in order to get to the awakening, very often you have to go through the breakdown, right? You have to go, you got to break down to get to it, or wait, you got to go through it to get to it. That's the saying, So that's what this is. So here we have, in this deck, they call it transformation. This is also called the Tower in most decks. Let me see, what does it say here? It says realization. That's one way of saying it, I guess. Realization, life change is what they're saying here. But the Tower is the breakdown, okay? The Tower is, for some of you, it looks like the dark night of your soul, where it just feels like everything you've ever known, the reality of the world as you know it, is just kind of crumbling around you. A lot of times your whole world's falling apart. You're losing a lot of people that you love, a lot of things that you love. Maybe you're having to move. Maybe you're having to, like for me, I literally left the United States, went to a whole nother country. So, that's what breakdown looks like. Breakdown and the Tower can look very much like that. And the reason that we go through the dark night of our soul is because we are not being connected to our higher self. We're being inauthentic, and we're living inauthentically, okay? And at some point, your higher self has had enough of your ego calling the shots, and your higher self says, okay, that's enough. I'm coming down. And when they do, and they roll away that stone, that great awakening, that initiation that you're going to experience feels a lot like the lightning hitting the tower and the tower collapsing, okay? And that's what this is, because what the Tower ultimately is about, when the lightning hits the tower collapses. Now there's nothing left standing. Now we have to rebuild the tower from the ground up. And here's the thing. If the tower had been built correctly the first time, there's no way a little bit of lightning could have knocked that down, okay? I mean, I know lightning's powerful. I'm not taking away from lightning, but I'm just saying, if it was built correctly, it would stood. And it didn't, because it wasn't built correctly. So this is what you're realizing, is the foundations upon which you built your entire framework for your life was not built strongly, wasn't built correctly the first time around. And this is your chance to roll away the blocks, to take back, all the distortion and build it right. So this is kind of, it feels like for a lot of you, you've been going through a rough period, okay? Maybe I kind of just heard in my head, it feels like maybe even since the end of last year, so maybe last 6+ months, 6, 7, 8 months for some of you. It's been kind of a rough ride, all right? So let's see where that has brought us to. Y'all, I can't make this up. This is why I love the tarot. This is why I will never give up on the tarot, because this is truly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This card and this deck is called Release. Typically on a typical tarot deck, card 13, this would be death. But death is not about people dying. Everybody's always like, oh my gosh, does that mean somebody's dying? No. You can see here, this is like the phoenix. And it says endings, transformation, and freedom. And that is what the death card is all about. It's the ending of the old, it's the death of the old way of doing, the old way of thinking, the old way of being. And it's the rebirth, the rise from the ashes to this new glorious version of yourself, to this new awakened version of yourself. Okay. So that's what's happened. You've gone through the tower and now you've hit the death card, and the death card is where we are what? Reborn. We release those old ways of thinking, those old ways of doing, those old ways of behaving, those old ways. And it's not to say that just because we've awoken and we've, this is a lot about ascension. Okay, this is about the great awakening of mankind, as they say. But all of us go through this, whether collectively or singularly, we all go through it. Okay, and this is the understanding that maybe what I've known up to now was brought to me by my parents and society, but that isn't the truth. This is you awakening to who you are. Remember, this is about inner child work. This is about shadow work. A lot of what we were taught as children about who we are and the way we're supposed to be is not who we are. What we were told was your parents wanted you to behave the way they wanted you to behave, so you conformed and started behaving based on what your upbringing was, and that is who you think you are, but that's not who you are. Who you are requires a bit of awakening. It requires a bit of transformation. It requires a bit of release. And where are you going? Where is this taking you? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The Chariot. Are y'all kidding? Are y'all kidding? So for the future card, we've got the Chariot, and this is, what does that say down there? Willpower, victory, and recognition. I you know what? I've never heard anybody say the Chariot is about willpower and victory, but I will take that. The Chariot is about moving forward in the right direction. Having, you know what? I really am so grateful that I pulled this deck today, because I would have never thought to call the Chariot willpower, but that's what it is. It takes willpower to continue to move forward. It takes willpower to stay, to realize, hey, this old way of thinking, this old patterns that I had, these old habits that I had, they weren't serving me. And so I'm going to release them, and I'm going to have the willpower to move away from them and move towards who I'm really supposed to be. So like I said, this is progress. This is the initiation. So you've gone through the fire, and now it's time to release that so that you can move forward. And so what are the blocks? I'm dying over this. These cards are cracking me up today. You've got the Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit, this is that energy of going within, of really, what does it say here? I love this. Introspection and self-discovery and mentorship. Absolutely. The Hermit is about standing still. The Hermit is about taking a moment to take inventory, to reevaluate where you're at and where you're going. Are you going in the right direction? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to allow to transform and heal so that you can make progress? Okay, and so you're asking, well, then how is that a block? The problem with the Hermit is, just like every card has a positive side, every card has the negative side. And on the negative side of the Hermit is a Hermit can be very self-isolating and doesn't want to leave their shell. And very often when we're going through this great transformation and change and great awakening, we will very often, and this is one of the most common signs, is you will start to self-isolate. You will start to go into the Hermit mode where you push people away and you put up walls, because here's the thing, you're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to discover who you are, and what does that mean, and what do boundaries look like for you, and what does relationships look like as this new person that you are. It takes time, okay? And so while you need to give yourself time and space to figure it out, don't let yourself get locked into this. I can remember when I went through my dark night of the soul, I straight up said, I do not want any friends. I've got 2 best friends and a husband, and who needs anything else? I don't need to socialize. I don't need to leave my house. I don't want to make friends. And I remember I felt like that for about 3 years. And I pretty much decided that, well, that's who I am. This is my personality. That's not true. That is not true. If you know me in real life, you know that is not true. I'm a very personable person. I love to hang out and meet new people and make friends. But I had just convinced myself when I went through that dark night, when I went through that transformation and that release, when I went down that path of new discovery and awakening, I was like, well, this is who I am. Don't let yourself, don't fall for that, okay? That's not who you are, okay? And last card before we close up for the day, guidance and advice. I love this so much. This is the 8 of Fire, or the 8 of Wands in reverse. take it slow. Don't try to rush through this process. This is not meant to be a quick process by any means. Okay, what do we got right here? It says, yep. Speed, activity, and multitasking. So this is the opposite, okay? We don't want to go fast. We do not wish to multitask. So listen, this is saying, like, as you're going through this discovery, you know, if you're trying to meditate while trying to manifest at the same time, while also listening to, I don't know, sound therapy all at the same time, or maybe mantras at the same time, or whatever, that's too much. Okay, it's great that you've gone through this transformation and change and you're discovering who you are. Slow down, take it one step at a time. Don't try to jam so much into everything. Learn each step one step at a time, okay? And get to figure out who you are. And listen, don't be in a rush to get to the other side of who you are either, okay? You're gonna be there waiting for you, all right? So enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't be in such a rush for this to be over. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable. Oh boy, 2017, 18, and 19 were some of the most uncomfortable years of my life. But then on the other side of that came 2020, when I really woke up to myself, when I started my YouTube channel, which is what you're looking at right now. And that would lead to me having a career and meeting some of the most amazing humans I've ever met. And none of that would have happened if I had tried to speed up because it was uncomfortable, because the pain was too much. Instead, I sat with that pain and I learned who I was. And on the other side of that, I found a whole new person waiting for me, and you will too, okay? So let's see what the underlying energy is. Spirit is so loud this week. Look, we've got the moon, yes, the 9 of fire, the 9 of wands. Oh my gosh, the page of swords is in reverse. You've got absolutely the 7 of cups. Oh my gosh, we're gonna stop right there. The ace of fire, the ace of wands. Listen, y'all, this is about going deep, really getting to know those subconscious parts of yourself, those hidden parts of yourself, learning to trust your intuition, learning to trust yourself again, learning to love yourself again, finding out who you are. That's what this is. This is the underlying cards are what supports this reading. So it's time for you to understand that you're going to probably put up some walls for a little while. You're going to probably push some people away, and this is all part of the journey. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't push away the people who care in the sense that they want to be with you on the journey, okay? It's fine to put up space, but it's also, remember, we're not trying to put up so much space that at the end of this, we find ourselves completely alone, okay? That's not fun. When you're finished, you're gonna wanna have somebody to tell all the fun things that you've learned to, okay? Make sure that we're not pushing everybody too far away, but it's absolutely 100% normal to want to have boundaries and to protect your space while you're going through this transformation, because you don't know who you are, but you're going to find out, okay? This is a beautiful opportunity for you to try a lot of new things, to have a lot of new experiences, to ask a lot of questions, and to go very, very deep, because the deeper you go, the more richly you will be rewarded on the other side. This is a total deep dive into finding out who you are. Do not be afraid to feel the flames and to dance and to stand still and also enjoy the warmth, okay? It's gonna be a little bit of pain, a little bit of pleasure, and a whole lot of growth, and it's absolutely 100%, I can promise you, worth it, okay? I am so grateful that I got to be the one that shared this message with you today. I hope you will come back if you want to book a private reading with me. The link to my Etsy shop is down below, and if you are still here, I would be so honored if you would come back. Please subscribe to my channel or give me a little bit of energy exchange. Give me a like or a comment, or share this with somebody who might find it helpful. Until I see you again, take care of yourself. Love you. Bye.